Hello and welcome to Sketch a Day. I am Spencer. That is Sketch a Day, by the way, which means I sketch every day and try to post something here for you guys to enjoy. If this is your first time, hit that subscribe button and turn on alerts. And if you enjoy the video, give us a like and a share. Also, if you want to say hi on the socials, I am at sketchaday.com on Instagram and at Daily Sketches on Twitter, and I'm pretty easy to find everywhere else. If you have questions about the materials in any of my videos, you can always find those links below in the video description. Now, today I wanted to do something a little different and show you how shadows work. Now, there are two ways to do shadows. We can do natural light and artificial light shadows. I'm going to be focusing on natural light shadows today, simple shadows, because I was just hanging out in my driveway and I noticed that the sun was up and we had pretty distinct, crisp light. And I was able to cast a shadow, and I want to show you some observations about that shadow to help with your drawing. So if you want to follow along, grab whatever you have. I'm going to be using my new Wacom Cintiq 16 tablet that I just got and finally set up, and Adobe Photoshop. So this was just a scene here, and I noticed that, let's see if I can zoom out here. There we go. Control 0. I noticed the sun was in the sky here and casting a shadow, so I wanted to project a little bit, do a little experiment, and show you guys what I observed. Now, with natural light shadows, what tends to happen is we have, or sorry, not natural, or yeah, natural light shadows. What tends to happen is we have our light source. So we have the sun here. Let's do that in red so you guys can see. Sorry, I got a little tripped up there. So a little red here, there's our light source. Happy little sun. Okay, excited to be shining light down on us. All right, so because the sun is so far away, when I'm actually sketching these, I like to pretend that the light rays are parallel. But what we can actually do here with this drawing is I can actually pick on these corners of my object. I'm just going to click in one spot here and then click down, and this is going to create a map of where our light source is. Okay. Now, what I mean by parallel is if you look at these two light rays and a short distance, they appear to be parallel. But if we compare these three, not as much. All right, so let's go ahead and project all the way back now. The easy way to do that, I'm going to use a line, and let's give this line a stroke of, let's see, let's do 5 pixels, just like that. Boom. So now I'm going to draw this line. Oops, it wanted me to do a rectangle there. I got to actually pick line. Okay, so we have a stroke weight of 5 pixels, and we're gonna go just a quick test. All right, so we got that. So now I'm gonna just draw a line through these points, okay? And I don't even need to look at where the sun is. I'm actually focusing on that point from my piece of wood. And let's jump over here and do another line, and you'll see that this shadow appears to converge at our light source, the sun. Okay, now for drawing purposes, like I mentioned, whenever I'm projecting these shadows, I tend to assume, or rather, just guesstimate that these lines are parallel. Because the sun is so far away, it's a lot easier for me to go with a parallel assumption here of the light passing through these edges, corners, and so forth, so that I don't have to deal with the expansion of the shadow. Now you can see some of that distortion here on the kettlebell I was working out on this particular morning, and you can kind of see right through here, right? If we look at this distance, like so, it appears to be wider than the actual kettlebell. So there is some distortion that happens in our projection as well. But assuming the light source to be casting or projecting parallel rays is going to kind of be your easiest way to project your shadow. Now if I turn these layers off, let's jump to this image here, and we're just kind of in an isolated mode. I can kind of do the same thing, just click, or let's actually just draw these lines. I'm gonna turn off my stroke here. So no stroke, and let's just use, boom. Let's use our regular old line tool. And again, being a little more cropped in to the image, you could argue that these lines are mostly or mainly parallel. All right, so that's how your shadows work. So let's see how that works in a more practical application. I'm going to create a sketch here, and let's just draw a simple box. Okay, so just a simple cube or box or whatever. Okay, simple shape here, 3-point perspective, just like so. All right, so if I want to project a shadow from this object, what I need to do is actually draw lines that are parallel from the base, okay, from each of these corners. Drawing through always helps. And if this is a little bit confusing, I know I have videos that cover shadows on the channel you can check out. So these are from the corners, and this is essentially, you know, in a 360-degree fashion telling me where is the sun. Okay, so where's the sun relative to my cuboid or rectilinear object here? Okay, where is the sun in the sky? That's what these lines are telling me. So positioning them this way is saying the sun is toward the front. All right, now I need to project down from this light source. So let's say my light source is indeed in this direction. I'm just gonna, from the corners, now we also have to pick, I should mention, not only is it 360 degrees in these directions, but also in this direction. Okay, so I need to pick, okay, where is the sun in the sky? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? And that's going to essentially be the azimuth of the light in the sky. All right, so let's just pick a direction, and much like our picture, right, we pick an edge here, project down where this intersection happens. That's our first point. Okay, now I can project down again. We have another intersection, project down again, another intersection. And just like our photo, because I'm so cropped in, it is a lot easier just to assume that these lines are parallel than having to project from a point light source, the sun being so far away. All right, so that's why we do it this way. Now to finish this off, and I'll do this in blue so you can kind of see, increase the brush size here. All right, so the actual portion of the shadow ends up being something like this shape right there. All right, it's almost like taking the corners of this cube and just smushing them down to the ground. That's another way I like to think about shadows. It's like this shape here on the top is now pushed to the ground, okay, like so, and then we just connect the corners, and that's our shadow. All right, just like that. So hopefully this helps you see the connection between shadows in the real world and being able to draw those shadows accurately digitally or on paper, whatever medium you're using. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a great time, and I hope you learned some interesting thing about shadows that you can apply in your drawing. Now, once again, if you liked the video, give us a like and a share. Also, subscribe to our newsletter at Sketchaday. Check out the store, lots of good content. We go live 3 times a week here on the YouTube as well. So you'll want to subscribe and turn on those alerts so you don't miss when I'm here chatting, hanging out, and sketching based on your suggestions and ideas that you guys throw my way. Always a fun time. Definitely the highlight of my week. And we do that on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays every week here on the Sketchaday YouTube channel. Well, thanks guys, and we'll see you next time right here on Sketchaday.